She said she forgot her wallet, the oldest triplet whispered, watching the car speed away. The three girls sat alone in the booth, confused and penniless. The waitress realized they had been abandoned. Instead of getting angry, she brought them warm pie. "Don't be sad, I'm here with you," she smiled gently. Suddenly, headlights flashed through the window. A massive Rolls-Royce pulled up in the rain. A man rushed inside, looking frantic. He wasn't a customer, he was their father. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. Girls, I need to get something from the car. Stay here and finish your food. Emma Carter looked up from her plate of French fries as her stepmother Vanessa walked toward the glass door of Rosie's diner. The door made a jingling sound when it closed. Emma watched Vanessa's tall figure move across the parking lot. Then Emma turned back to her sisters. "Can I have your pickle?" Sophie asked, pointing at Emma's plate. "Yes," Emma said. She pushed her plate toward Sophie. Emma was not hungry. The diner was hot. The air conditioner made a loud rattling noise but did not make the room cool. Emma wiped sweat from her forehead with the back of her hand. Lily sat on the other side of the red booth. She had not touched her burger. She was looking at the small television above the counter. A cartoon was playing. Lily liked cartoons, but she was not smiling. "Eat your food," Emma told Lily. "I am not hungry," Lily said quietly. Sophie was the only one eating. She dipped a French fry into ketchup and hummed while she chewed. Sophie always hummed. Emma thought it was annoying, but she did not say anything. The diner smelled like grease and coffee. There were 5 other people eating at different tables. An old man sat at the counter reading a newspaper. A young couple sat near the window. A woman with 2 small children sat 3 booths away. Emma looked out the window again. She could see the parking lot. There were 7 cars. One of them was Vanessa's black Mercedes. Emma could see it parked near the road. She looked at the clock on the wall. It was 3:15 in the afternoon. "When is Daddy coming home?" Sophie asked. "Tomorrow," Emma said. "He's in Dallas for work." "I miss Daddy," Sophie said. "Me too," Lily said. Emma missed their father too. Michael Carter had been gone for 4 days. He went to Dallas for business meetings. He said he would be home on Sunday. Today was Saturday. Vanessa was supposed to take care of them while their father was gone. But Vanessa did not like taking care of them. Emma knew this. Vanessa never smiled at them. Vanessa never asked them about school. Vanessa never hugged them good night. Emma looked out the window again. She counted the cars. 7 cars. She looked for the black Mercedes. She did not see it. Emma felt something cold in her stomach. She stood up in the booth. "What is wrong?" Lily asked. "The car is gone," Emma said. Her voice was shaking. "What do you mean?" Sophie stopped eating. "Vanessa's car. It is not there." Emma pressed her face against the window. She looked at every car in the parking lot. A red truck, a white van, a blue Honda, a silver SUV, a green Jeep, a black motorcycle, a yellow taxi, no black Mercedes. "Maybe she moved it," Lily said. "Why would she move it?" Emma asked. She felt her heart beating fast. She looked at the clock again. It was 3:22. Vanessa had been gone for 7 minutes. Sophie slid out of the booth and stood next to Emma. She looked out the window, too. "Where did she go?" "I do not know," Emma whispered. The cold feeling in her stomach got worse. She sat back down. She looked at the table. There were 3 plates with half-eaten burgers and fries. There were 3 glasses of water. And there was a piece of paper. Emma picked up the paper. It was the bill. It said $47 at the bottom. Emma's hands started shaking. She reached into her pocket. She pulled out 3 quarters, 2 dimes, and 3 pennies. She counted it, 73 cents. She looked at Lily. "Do you have any money?" Lily shook her head. "No." Emma looked at Sophie. "Do you?" "No," Sophie said. Her eyes were getting big. "Why? What is happening?" Emma felt tears coming. She tried to stop them, but she could not. "She left us," Emma said. Vanessa left us here." "No," Sophie said. "No, she did not. She is coming back." But Emma knew the truth. She knew it in her chest. She knew it in her bones. Vanessa was not coming back. Emma started to cry. The tears came fast and hot. She put her head down on the table. "Emma, stop," Lily said. But Lily's voice was shaking too. "She is coming back. She has to come back." Sophie started crying next. She climbed back into the booth and grabbed Emma's arm. "I want Daddy," Sophie said. "I want to call Daddy." "We do not have a phone," Emma said through her tears. "Vanessa took our phones away." "What about your watch?" Lily asked. "The one Daddy gave you." Emma remembered. Her father gave her a smartwatch for her 8th birthday. He said it was for emergencies. She could call him from the watch. But Emma was not wearing it. She touched her wrist. It was bare. "Vanessa took it off this morning," Emma said. "She threw it in the trunk. She said I did not need it." Now Lily was crying too. All 3 girls sat in the booth and cried. The old man at the counter looked over at them. The young couple looked too. The woman with 2 children stared. A waitress walked over to their booth. She was a black woman with kind eyes. She wore a pale blue dress and a white apron. Her name tag said, Grace. "Honey, what is wrong?" Grace asked. Her voice was soft. Emma could not stop crying. She could not speak. Sophie was sobbing into her hands. Lily was shaking. Grace sat down in the booth next to Emma. "It is okay," Grace said. "Take a deep breath. Tell me what happened." Emma tried to breathe. She wiped her eyes. She looked at Grace. "Our stepmother left us here," Emma said. "She said she was going to the car, but she drove away. She left us, and we do not have any money, and we do not have a phone, and we do not know what to do." Grace's face changed. She looked out the window at the parking lot. Then she looked at the bill on the table. Then she looked at the 3 crying girls. Grace reached into her apron pocket. She pulled out a pile of cash. She counted out $47 and placed it on top of the bill. "Do not worry about the money," Grace said. "That is taken care of." "But that is your money," Emma said. "That is okay," Grace said. "Right now, you girls need help, and I am going to help you." Grace stood up and walked to the counter. She talked to an older man with white hair. The man looked worried. He nodded. Grace came back to the booth. She was carrying 3 plates of apple pie with vanilla ice cream on top. "Here," Grace said. "Eat this. You are safe now." Grace sat down in the booth again. She reached out and took Emma's hand. She took Lily's hand too. Sophie moved closer, and Grace put her arm around Sophie. "Tell me your names," Grace said. "Emma," Emma said. "And this is Lily and Sophie. We are sisters. We are triplets." "Triplets," Grace said. "That is special. How old are you?" 8, Emma said. "Okay," Grace said. "Emma, I need you to tell me everything. Start from the beginning." Emma took a shaky breath. "The woman who left us is named Vanessa. She is our stepmother. She married our dad 8 months ago. Our real mom died 3 years ago. Her name was Sarah. She had cancer. After Mom died, Dad was really sad. He worked a lot. Then he met Vanessa. Vanessa was nice at first, but after they got married, she changed. She does not like us. She says we are annoying. She says we ruined her marriage. This morning, she said we were going on a drive. We stopped here for lunch. Then she said she needed to get something from the car, but she did not come back." Grace squeezed Emma's hand. "Where is your father now?" "Dallas," Emma said. "He is there for work. He is coming home tomorrow." "Do you know his phone number?" Grace asked. Emma shook her head. "I used to have a smartwatch that could call him, but Vanessa took it." Grace nodded slowly. "What is your last name?" "Carter," Emma said. "Okay," Grace said. "Emma, Lily, Sophie Carter. I am Grace Williams, and I promise you, I am not going anywhere. I am going to stay with you until we find your father. But first, I need to call the police. Is that okay?" Emma felt scared. She did not know if the police would help or if they would take them away, but she looked at Grace's kind eyes and she nodded. Grace pulled out her cell phone. She dialed 911. She held the phone to her ear. "Yes," Grace said into the phone. "I am at Rosie's Diner on Highway 83 in Brownsville. I need to report a case of child abandonment. 3 young girls were left here by their stepmother. They are safe with me right now, but they need help." Emma watched Grace talk to the person on the phone. She felt Sophie holding her hand tight. She felt Lily leaning against her shoulder. Emma did not know what was going to happen next. She did not know if they would ever see their father again. But she knew one thing. Grace was not leaving them. Grace was staying. And for the first time since Vanessa drove away, Emma felt like maybe everything would be okay. The person on the phone asked Grace questions. Grace answered each one. She said the diner was called Rosie's Diner. She said it was on Highway 83. She said the stepmother's name was Vanessa Carter. She said the girls were 8 years old. The person on the phone said a police officer would come soon. Grace said thank you and hung up. Emma was staring at the table. Her pie was melting. The ice cream was turning into a white puddle. "Are we in trouble?" Sophie asked. Her voice was very small. Grace turned to look at Sophie. "No, sweetheart," Grace said. "You are not in trouble. You did nothing wrong. The police are coming to help you. They will help us find your father." "What if they take us away?" Lily asked. She pushed her glasses up on her nose. Her hands were shaking. "Take you where?" Grace asked. "To a foster home," Lily said. "That is what happens when kids do not have parents." Grace felt her heart hurt. These girls were so young, but they already knew about foster homes. They already knew about being taken away. Grace leaned forward and looked at all 3 girls. "Listen to me," Grace said. "You have a father who loves you. He is in Dallas right now. We are going to find him and call him. He will come get you. You are not going to a foster home, I promise." "How do you know?" Emma asked. She was not crying anymore, but her eyes were red. "Because I will not let that happen," Grace said. "I am staying right here with you until your father comes. Okay?" Emma looked at Grace for a long time. Then she nodded. Pete walked over to the booth. He was the owner of the diner. He had white hair and a round belly. He wore a white shirt with grease stains on it. "Grace," Pete said, "you okay?" "Yes," Grace said. "Pete, these girls need help. Their stepmother abandoned them here. The police are coming." Pete's face turned red. "She just left them? What kind of person does that?" "A bad person," Sophie said. Pete looked at the 3 girls. His eyes were sad. "You girls are safe here," Pete said. "You can stay as long as you need. Grace will take care of you." "Thank you, Pete," Grace said. Pete walked back to the counter. He started making coffee. The smell filled the diner. Emma watched him. Then she looked at Grace. "Do you work here?" Emma asked. "Yes," Grace said. "I have worked here for 5 years." "Do you like it?" Lily asked. Grace thought about the question. "Sometimes," she said. "The work is hard and my feet hurt at the end of the day, but Pete is a good boss, and I meet nice people." "Like us?" Sophie asked. Grace smiled. "Yes, like you." They sat in silence for a minute. Then Emma asked, "What is going to happen now?" "Now we wait for the police," Grace said. "And while we wait, you should eat your pie. It is getting warm." Sophie picked up her spoon. She took a small bite. "It is good," she said. "Pete makes the best apple pie in Brownsville," Grace said. Lily took a bite too. Emma did not eat. She kept looking out the window. Grace understood. Emma was looking for the black Mercedes. She was looking for Vanessa. She was hoping Vanessa would come back. But Grace knew Vanessa was not coming back. Grace had seen this before. When she was 9 years old, her own mother left her at a bus station. Her mother said she would be back in 10 minutes. 6 hours later, her grandmother found her. Grace never saw her mother again. At 3:45, a police car pulled into the parking lot. A man in a police uniform got out. He was Hispanic with short black hair. He looked tired. He walked into the diner and looked around. Grace raised her hand. The officer walked over to their booth. "I am Officer Rodriguez," he said. "You called about abandoned children?" "Yes," Grace said. "This is Emma, Lily, and Sophie Carter. Their stepmother brought them here for lunch and then left without them." Officer Rodriguez pulled out a small notebook and a pen. He sat down at the booth. "Girls," he said, "I need to ask you some questions. Is that okay?" The girls nodded. "What is your stepmother's name?" Officer Rodriguez asked. "Vanessa Carter," Emma said. "What does she look like?" "She has long blonde hair," Emma said. "She is tall. She was wearing a white dress today." "What kind of car does she drive?" "A black Mercedes," Emma said. "I do not know the numbers on the license plate." Officer Rodriguez wrote everything down. "Where do you live?" "Austin," Emma said. "Do you know your address?" Emma nodded. She said the address. Officer Rodriguez wrote it down. "What about your father?" Officer Rodriguez asked. "Where is he?" "Dallas," Emma said. "He is there for work. He is coming home tomorrow." "Do you know where he is staying in Dallas?" Emma shook her head. "No." "Do you know his phone number?" "No," Emma said. She started crying again. "I used to have a watch that could call him, but Vanessa took it." Officer Rodriguez put down his pen. "It is okay," he said. "We will find your father. What is his name?" "Michael Carter," Emma said. Officer Rodriguez wrote that down. "Does your father own a business?" "Yes," Emma said. "Carter Technologies. He has a lot of companies." Officer Rodriguez raised his eyebrows. "Michael Carter, the billionaire?" Emma nodded. Officer Rodriguez looked at Grace. Then he looked back at the girls. He picked up his phone and made a call. He talked to someone for a few minutes. Then he hung up. "I called Child Services," he said. "Someone will come to pick you up and take you somewhere safe until we find your father." "When will they come?" Grace asked. "They said it will take a few hours," Officer Rodriguez said. "They are very busy today. They do not have enough people working." "A few hours?" Grace said. "These girls cannot sit here for a few hours waiting." "I know," Officer Rodriguez said, "but there is nothing I can do. I have another emergency call I need to go to right now. Can you stay with them?" Grace looked at the three girls. They were all staring at her with scared eyes. "Yes," Grace said, "I will stay." "Thank you," Officer Rodriguez said. He stood up. "I will send officers to look for Vanessa Carter, and I will try to contact Michael Carter." He looked at the girls. "Everything will be okay," he said. Then he walked out of the diner. The girls watched him leave. "I am scared," Sophie whispered. "I know," Grace said. She put her arm around Sophie. "But you are safe. I am right here." Pete came over with 3 milkshakes. "On the house," he said. He put the milkshakes on the table. One was chocolate, one was vanilla, one was strawberry. "Thank you," Emma said quietly. Pete nodded and walked away. Grace pushed the chocolate milkshake toward Sophie. "Drink this," Grace said. "It will make you feel better." Sophie picked up the milkshake and drank through the straw. Lily took the vanilla one. Emma took the strawberry one but did not drink it. "Emma," Grace said, "I know you are scared, but you need to drink something. You have been crying and you need water or something sweet." Emma picked up the milkshake. She took a small sip. Then she put it down. "How long do we have to wait?" Emma asked. "I do not know," Grace said honestly. "Maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, but I will stay with you the whole time." "Why?" Emma asked. "You do not know us." Grace thought about how to answer. "Because when I was a little girl, something bad happened to me, and I wished someone had stayed with me. So now when I see children who need help, I stay. I do not leave." "What bad thing happened to you?" Lily asked. Grace looked at the 3 girls. They deserved the truth. "My mother left me at a bus station when I was 9 years old. Grace said. She told me she would come back, but she did not. I waited for 6 hours. I was so scared. Finally, my grandmother came and found me. Did you ever see your mother again? Lily asked. No, Grace said. I did not. The girls were quiet. Then Sophie said, I am sorry that happened to you. Thank you, Grace said. But that is why I understand how you feel right now. And that is why I will not leave you. Emma looked at Grace. Thank you, Emma said. Grace smiled. You are welcome. They sat in the booth and drank their milkshakes. The diner was getting less crowded. The young couple left. The woman with 2 children left. Only the old man at the counter was still there. The sun was starting to go down outside. The sky was turning orange and pink. What time is it? Emma asked. Grace looked at the clock. It is 6:30. 3 hours had passed since Vanessa left. Emma felt like it had been 3 days. She was tired. Her eyes hurt from crying. Her head hurt. She wanted her father. She wanted to go home. She wanted to go to sleep in her own bed. Are you girls hungry? Grace asked. Do you want more food? No, Emma said. I am not hungry, Lily said. Me neither, Sophie said. Okay, Grace said. Then tell me about yourselves. What do you like to do? I like to draw, Emma said. What do you draw? Grace asked. Everything, Emma said. Animals, houses, people. I have a whole notebook full of drawings at home. That is wonderful, Grace said. I wish I could draw. I cannot even draw a stick figure. Grace made a funny face and the girls laughed a little. Grace looked at Lily. What about you? What do you like? Science, Lily said. I like learning about how things work. I have a microscope at home. I look at leaves and bugs and stuff. That is very smart, Grace said. I never understood science, but I think it is amazing. Grace looked at Sophie. And you? I like to sing, Sophie said. I make up songs about everything. Can you sing me a song? Grace asked. Sophie shook her head. Not right now. I do not feel like singing. That is okay, Grace said. Maybe later. The hours moved slowly. Pete cleaned the tables. He swept the floor. He turned off some of the lights. The diner was quiet. At 8 o'clock, Pete came over to the booth. Grace, he said, I am going to close up, but you and the girls can stay inside. Just lock the door when you leave. Thank you, Pete, Grace said. Pete looked at the girls. Your father is a lucky man, Pete said. He has 3 brave daughters. After Pete left, it was just Grace and the girls in the diner. The only sound was the buzzing of the lights and the hum of the refrigerator. Emma put her head down on the table. Lily leaned against the window. Sophie curled up next to Grace. At 9 o'clock, a car pulled into the parking lot. Grace sat up. A woman got out of the car. She was older, maybe 50 or 60. She had gray hair and wore glasses. She carried a briefcase. She walked to the door of the diner. Grace got up and unlocked it. Are you Grace Williams? The woman asked. Yes, Grace said. I am Janet Reeves from Child Services, the woman said. She walked inside and looked at the 3 girls in the booth. Then she opened her briefcase and pulled out paperwork. She looked at Grace with tired eyes and said, I need to take you to a temporary foster home tonight. Emma grabbed Grace's arm. Her fingers dug into Grace's skin. No, Emma said. We are not going. Janet Reeves put her briefcase on the table. She pulled out a folder and opened it. I understand you are scared, Janet said. But I have rules I need to follow. You cannot stay here in a diner all night. You need a safe place to sleep. We are safe with Grace, Emma said. Her voice was loud. Grace is very kind, Janet said. But she is not your family. She cannot take care of you legally. I need to take you to a foster home until we find your father. Lily started shaking. Sophie started crying again. Grace felt her heart breaking. She looked at Janet. Can you give us a little more time? Grace asked. Maybe the father will show up soon. Janet looked tired. She had dark circles under her eyes. I have been doing this job for 20 years, Janet said. I have other cases tonight. I already waited hours to get here. I cannot wait any longer. Just 15 more minutes, Grace said. Please, let me try to call their father. Janet looked at the three crying girls. She sighed. 15 minutes, Janet said. That is all I can give you. Thank you, Grace said. She pulled out her phone. She looked at Emma. What company does your father own? Carter Technologies, Emma said. Grace typed the name into her phone. A website came up. She clicked on it. There was a phone number at the top. Grace called it. The phone rang 4 times. Then a recording played. Thank you for calling Carter Technologies. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please leave a message. Grace hung up. She tried searching for Michael Carter on the internet. There were many results. Articles about his business. Photos of him at events. Grace clicked on one article. There was a photo of Michael Carter. He was wearing a suit. He had dark hair and blue eyes. He was smiling, but his smile looked fake. Grace kept scrolling. She found a social media profile. She clicked on it. The profile was public. She could see posts about business meetings and technology news. Grace clicked the message button. She typed quickly, Mr. Carter, this is urgent. Your daughters Emma, Lily, and Sophie are at Rosie's Diner on Highway 83 in Brownsville. Their stepmother Vanessa abandoned them here. They are safe with me, but Child Services is here and wants to take them to a foster home. Please call this number immediately. Grace typed her phone number and hit send. She put her phone on the table and stared at it. Now we wait, Grace said. What if he does not see the message? Lily asked. Then we will try something else, Grace said, but she did not know what else to try. Janet looked at her watch. You have 12 more minutes, Janet said. Sophie was crying harder now. She wrapped her arms around Grace's waist. I do not want to go with her, Sophie said. Please do not make me go. Grace felt tears in her own eyes. She held Sophie tight. It will be okay, Grace said. But she did not know if that was true. Emma was not crying. She was sitting very still. Her face was pale. Are foster homes bad? Emma asked. Janet looked at Emma. Some foster homes are very good, Janet said. The family I am taking you to tonight is nice. They have helped many children. But they are strangers, Emma said. Yes, Janet said, but they are trained and approved by the state. We already lost our mom, Emma said. Her voice was shaking. Then our dad married Vanessa and she hurt us. Now you want us to go with more strangers. Why should we trust anyone? Janet did not have an answer. She just looked sad. Lily spoke quietly. What if our dad does not find us? He will find you, Grace said. I promise. How do you know? Lily asked. Because he loves you, Grace said. And when you love someone, you do not stop looking. Janet looked at her watch again. Time is up, she said. She stood up. Girls, please come with me. I have a car outside. No, Emma said. She did not move. No, Lily said. Sophie held on to Grace tighter. I am not going, Sophie said. Janet closed her eyes for a moment. Please do not make this harder than it needs to be, Janet said. I do not want to call for help, but I will if I have to. Grace did not know what to do. She wanted to keep the girls with her. She wanted to protect them, but she had no legal right. She was just a waitress. She was nobody. Please, Grace said to Janet, just a little more time. I cannot, Janet said. I have rules. Emma stood up in the booth. We are not going, Emma said again. You cannot make us. Lily stood up too. She was crying now. Sophie would not let go of Grace. Janet reached for her phone. I am going to call for backup, Janet said. Grace felt helpless. She looked at the three girls. They were so scared. They had already been through so much today, and now they were going to be taken away by a stranger. Grace wanted to scream. She wanted to cry, but she had to stay strong for them. Then bright white light flooded through the windows. Everyone turned to look. Headlights. A car was pulling into the parking lot very fast. The tires made a screeching sound. The car stopped right in front of the diner. The headlights were so bright Grace could not see what kind of car it was. A car door slammed. Footsteps ran toward the diner. The door flew open. A man stood in the doorway. He was tall and wearing an expensive suit. The suit was soaking wet. His hair was wet too. Water dripped onto the floor. His face was red. His eyes were wild and desperate. He looked around the diner frantically. Then his eyes landed on the three girls. "Daddy!" All three girls screamed at the same time. They jumped out of the booth. They ran across the diner. Michael Carter dropped to his knees. His daughters crashed into him. All four of them fell onto the floor. Michael wrapped his arms around all three girls. He was crying. The girls were crying. They held each other like they would never let go. "I am sorry," Michael said. His voice was breaking. "I am so sorry. I am here now. I am here." "Daddy, we were so scared," Sophie said. "I know, baby," Michael said. "I know. I am sorry." "Vanessa left us," Emma said. "I know," Michael said. "I know. She will never hurt you again, I promise." Lily did not say anything. She just held on to her father and cried. Grace stood by the booth watching. She had tears running down her face. Janet stood with her briefcase in her hand. Even she looked emotional. Michael looked up from the floor. His eyes found Grace. He was still holding his daughters, but he looked right at Grace. His face was full of pain and gratitude. He did not say anything. He did not need to. Grace understood. Grace. After a minute, Michael stood up. He helped his daughters stand too. He did not let go of them. He kept one hand on Emma's shoulder and one hand on Sophie's head. Lily held onto his arm. Janet stepped forward. "Mr. Carter?" she asked. "Yes," Michael said. His voice was rough from crying. "I am Janet Reeves from Child Services," Janet said. "I need to see some identification." Michael reached into his pocket with shaking hands. He pulled out his wallet. He showed Janet his driver's license. Janet looked at it carefully. She wrote something down on her paperwork. "Can you tell me where you were today?" Janet asked. "Dallas," Michael said. "I had business meetings. I tried calling home this afternoon, but no one answered. I tried calling my wife, Vanessa. Her phone went to voicemail. I got worried. I checked the GPS tracker on my daughter's smartwatch. It showed the watch was here at this diner. I drove as fast as I could. It took me 3 hours. There was a storm. The rain was so heavy I could barely see the road." "Where is Vanessa now?" Janet asked. "I do not know," Michael said. His jaw was tight. "But I am going to find her." Grace stepped forward. "Mr. Carter," she said quietly. Michael turned to look at her. "Are you Grace?" he asked. "Yes," Grace said. "You sent me the message?" "Yes," Grace said. Michael let go of his daughters for a moment. He walked over to Grace. He looked at her for a long moment. Then he pulled her into a hug. Grace was surprised. She stood stiff for a second. Then she hugged him back. "Thank you," Michael whispered. "Thank you for staying with them. Thank you for protecting them." "Anyone would have done the same," Grace said. Michael pulled back and looked at her. "No," he said. "Not everyone. You did something incredible. You saved my daughters." Grace did not know what to say. She looked at the three girls. They were standing close together watching their father. Janet cleared her throat. "Mr. Carter, I need to explain what happens next. This is a clear case of child abandonment. You need to file a police report. I will also file a report with Child Services. Within 48 hours, someone will come to your home to do a safety check. We need to make sure the children are in a safe environment." "Of course," Michael said. "Whatever you need." "Can I take the girls home tonight?" Michael asked. "Yes," Janet said. "As long as Vanessa is not there." "She will never be there again," Michael said. Janet nodded. She put her paperwork back in her briefcase. "I will be in touch," she said. She walked to the door and left. Michael turned back to Grace. "Can I drive you home?" he asked. "It is the least I can do." "I have my car," Grace said. "Please," Michael said. "I want to talk to you. I want to understand what happened today." Grace looked at the three girls. Emma was watching her. "Can Grace come to our house tomorrow?" Emma asked. Michael looked surprised. He looked at Grace. "Would you?" he asked. "Would you come have dinner with us tomorrow?" Grace hesitated. She should say no. She should go back to her life. These people were not her family. But when she looked at Emma, Lily, and Sophie, she could not say no. "Yes," Grace said. "I will come." Michael smiled for the first time. It was a real smile. "Thank you," he said. He pulled out his phone. "What is your number?" Grace told him. Michael typed it into his phone. "I will call you tomorrow," he said. Michael picked up Sophie because she was too tired to walk. He put his other arm around Emma and Lily. "Let's go home," he said. The girls hugged Grace one more time. "Thank you, Grace," Emma whispered. "You are welcome," Grace said. Grace watched them walk out of the diner. She watched Michael put his daughters in a car. It was a Rolls-Royce. The car drove away. The red taillights disappeared into the darkness. Grace sat down in the booth. She was alone in the empty diner. The lights buzzed. The clock on the wall said it was 9:45 at night. Grace put her head in her hands and finally let herself cry. Grace sat in the empty diner for a few minutes. Her body was shaking. She had held everything inside for 6 hours. She had stayed strong for the girls, but now they were gone and she could finally let go. She cried for Emma, Lily, and Sophie. She cried for herself. She cried for the little girl she used to be, waiting alone at a bus station. After a while, Grace wiped her eyes. She stood up and looked around the diner. The booth where the girls had sat was empty now. The plates and milkshake glasses were still on the table. Grace picked them up and carried them to the kitchen. She washed each dish slowly. The warm water felt good on her hands. She dried everything and put it away. Then she turned off the lights in the kitchen. Grace walked to the front door. She was about to lock it when she saw headlights again. A car was pulling into the parking lot. Grace's heart started beating fast. She thought maybe Vanessa had come back, but it was the Rolls-Royce, Michael's car. The car door opened. Michael got out. He walked toward the diner. Grace unlocked the door and opened it. "Is everything okay?" Grace asked. "Are the girls all right?" "They are in the car," Michael said. "They fell asleep. I just drove around the block, but I realized I could not leave without talking to you. Really talking to you. Can I come in for a minute?" Grace nodded. She let Michael inside. They sat down at the booth, the same red booth where everything had happened. "I need to know exactly what happened today," Michael said. "Please, tell me everything." Grace took a breath. She told Michael the whole story. She explained how Vanessa brought the girls in and ordered food, how Vanessa said she was going to the car, how the girls waited and waited, how Emma noticed the car was gone, how all three girls started crying, how Grace saw the bill on the table and paid it with her tip money, how Grace called the police, how Officer Rodriguez came and left, how they waited for hours, how Janet from Child Services came and tried to take the girls away. Michael listened to every word. His hands were in fists on the table. His face got redder and redder. When Grace finished, Michael put his head in his hands. "I should have been here," Michael said. "I should have protected them." "You are here now," Grace said. "But I was not here when they needed me," Michael said. He looked up at Grace. His eyes were full of pain. "I made so many mistakes. I married Vanessa too fast. I did not see who she really was. I ignored the signs. Emma tried to tell me Vanessa was mean to them, but I did not listen. I thought Emma was just having trouble adjusting. I thought she needed time. I was so stupid." "You are not stupid," Grace said. "You were grieving. You were trying to move forward." "I was trying to replace Sarah," Michael said. "That is what I was doing. I was so lonely after she died. I worked all the time so I would not have to feel anything. Then I met Vanessa and she seemed perfect. She said all the right things. She acted like she cared about my daughters, but it was all fake. She just wanted my money, and I brought her into my home. I let her hurt my girls. But she did not hurt them, Grace said. Not physically. They are okay. She abandoned them, Michael said. His voice got loud. She left 3 8-year-old girls alone in a diner. She did not care what happened to them. She just wanted to run away. What if you had not been here? What if no one had helped them? What if… Michael could not finish. He started crying again. Grace reached across the table and put her hand on Michael's hand. But I was here, Grace said, and they are safe. You cannot think about what might have happened. You can only think about what did happen. Michael looked at Grace's hand on his. Why did you help them? He asked. You did not know them. You did not know me. You used your own money to pay their bill. You stayed with them for 6 hours. You gave up your whole day. Why? Grace pulled her hand back. She looked down at the table. She did not like talking about her past. But Michael deserved to know. When I was 9 years old, Grace said slowly, my mother left me at a bus station in Houston. It was a Saturday afternoon. She said she needed to buy cigarettes. She told me to wait on a bench. She said she would be back in 10 minutes. I waited. 10 minutes passed. 20 minutes. An hour. People walked by me. Some of them looked at me. But no one stopped. No one asked if I was okay. I was too scared to move. I thought if I left the bench, my mother would not be able to find me. So I just sat there. I sat there for 6 hours. Michael was staring at Grace. He did not say anything, he just listened. Finally, my grandmother came, Grace continued. My mother had called her. My mother told her she could not take care of me anymore. She told my grandmother to come get me. My grandmother drove 2 hours from our house to that bus station. When she found me, I was still sitting on that bench. I had not eaten. I had not used the bathroom. I was just waiting. My grandmother took me home. I never saw my mother again. Grace's voice was shaking now. That day changed me. I learned that the world is not safe. I learned that people leave. I learned that no one helps. But I also made a promise to myself. I promised that if I ever saw a child who needed help, I would help them. I would not walk by. I would not ignore them. I would be the person I needed when I was 9 years old. Michael had tears running down his face. I am so sorry that happened to you, he said. It was a long time ago, Grace said. But it still hurts, Michael said. Yes, Grace admitted. It still hurts. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Michael said, You saved my daughters today. I do not know how to thank you. You do not need to thank me, Grace said. Yes, I do, Michael said. He reached into his jacket pocket. He pulled out his wallet. He opened it and took out a thick stack of cash. He counted it. $5,100 bills. $5,000. He put the money on the table in front of Grace. Grace stared at the money. She did not touch it. Please take it, Michael said. No, Grace said. Grace, please, Michael said. I know $5,000 does not come close to what you did for my girls, but it is something. Let me do something. I do not want your money, Grace said. She pushed the stack of bills back toward Michael. Why not? Michael asked. He sounded frustrated. Because I did not help your daughters for money, Grace said. I helped them because it was the right thing to do. If you give me money, it changes what I did. It makes it a transaction. But it was not a transaction. It was just kindness. Michael stared at Grace. He looked confused. Most people would take the money, he said. I am not most people, Grace said. Michael put the money back in his wallet slowly. Then how can I repay you? He asked. You can be a good father, Grace said. You can protect your daughters. You can make sure they are safe and loved. That is how you repay me. Michael nodded. I will, he said. I promise I will be better. I already called my lawyer. I am filing for divorce from Vanessa tomorrow. I am getting a restraining order. She will never be allowed near my daughters again." "Good," Grace said. "I also called my assistant," Michael said. "I am canceling all my trips for the next 6 months. I am staying home. I am going to be there for Emma, Lily, and Sophie every single day." "That is what they need," Grace said. Michael looked at Grace for a long time. "You are an amazing person," he said. Grace felt uncomfortable. She was not used to compliments. "I am just a waitress," she said. "No," Michael said. "You are much more than that." Grace stood up. "I should go home," she said. "My grandmother will be worried." Michael stood up too. "Can I at least drive you?" he asked. "I have my car," Grace said. "Then I will follow you," Michael said. "I want to make sure you get home safe." "You do not need to do that," Grace said. "Please," Michael said. "Let me do this one thing." Grace saw the desperation in his eyes. He needed to do something. He needed to feel like he was helping. "Okay," Grace said. They walked outside together. Grace got in her old Honda. Michael got in his Rolls Royce. Grace could see the 3 girls asleep in the back seat. She drove out of the parking lot. Michael followed her. The drive to Grace's apartment took 20 minutes. Grace lived in a small apartment building on the east side of Brownsville. The building was old and the paint was peeling. Grace parked in front. Michael parked behind her. Grace got out of her car. Michael got out too. He looked at the building. He did not say anything, but Grace knew what he was thinking. The building was run down. It was in a bad neighborhood. Grace felt embarrassed. "This is where I live," Grace said. "It does not matter where you live," Michael said. "What matters is who you are." Grace did not know what to say to that. "Thank you again," Michael said, "for everything. I will call you tomorrow about dinner." "Okay," Grace said. Michael got back in his car. Grace watched him drive away. Then she walked up the stairs to her apartment. It was on the 3rd floor. The hallway smelled like old food and cigarettes. Grace unlocked her door and went inside. The apartment was small. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a tiny kitchen, and a living room. Her grandmother Lorraine was asleep in the bedroom. Grace could hear her snoring. Grace sat down on the couch. She looked around at her life, the old furniture, the stained carpet, the cracked walls. She thought about Michael's Rolls Royce. She thought about his expensive suit. She thought about the $5,000 he tried to give her. Grace knew she should forget about the Carter family. They lived in a different world. But when Grace closed her eyes, all she could see was Emma, Lily, and Sophie. Their scared faces, their tears, their hope when they looked at her. Grace fell asleep on the couch thinking about 3 little girls with green eyes. Grace woke up on the couch. Her neck hurt. The sun was coming through the window. She looked at the clock on the wall. It was 7:30 in the morning. She had slept for 8 hours. Grace sat up slowly. Her body was stiff. She could hear her grandmother moving around in the bedroom. "Lorraine?" Grace called out. "I am awake," her grandmother answered. Lorraine came out of the bedroom. She was 74 years old. She had gray hair and wore a pink nightgown. She used a cane to walk. "You slept on the couch again," Lorraine said. "I was too tired to move," Grace said. "Where were you last night?" Lorraine asked. "You came home very late." Grace told her grandmother everything. She told her about the 3 girls. She told her about Vanessa abandoning them. She told her about staying with them for 6 hours. She told her about Michael arriving. Lorraine sat down in the old chair and listened. When Grace finished, Lorraine had tears in her eyes. "You did a good thing," Lorraine said. "Those girls needed you." "I just did what anyone would do," Grace said. "No," Lorraine said. "Most people would have walked away, but you stayed, just like I stayed for you." Grace walked over and kissed her grandmother's forehead. "I learned from the best," Grace said. Grace made breakfast, scrambled eggs and toast. They ate together at the small table. Lorraine asked. "Are you going to see those girls again?" "Their father invited me to dinner," Grace said. "Are you going to go?" "I do not know," Grace said. "Maybe I should just stay out of it. They are not my family." "But you care about them," Lorraine said. "Yes," Grace admitted. "I do." "Then go," Lorraine said. "Life is too short to walk away from people you care about." Grace thought about that while she washed the dishes. Maybe her grandmother was right. 50 miles away in Austin, Michael Carter was not sleeping. He had not slept all night. After he drove home from following Grace, he carried his daughters inside one by one. Sophie was still asleep. Emma and Lily were half asleep. He took them upstairs and put them in their beds. He took off their shoes and covered them with blankets. He kissed each of their foreheads. Then Michael sat in the hallway outside their bedrooms. He sat on the floor with his back against the wall. He cried. He cried for a long time. He cried because he had almost lost them. He cried because he had failed them. He cried because he had been so blind about Vanessa. At 2 a.m, Michael finally stood up. His legs were stiff. He went downstairs to his office. He called his lawyer. The lawyer answered on the 4th ring. His voice was sleepy. "James, this is Michael Carter," Michael said. "Michael, it is 2 a.m. What is wrong? I need you to file for divorce," Michael said. "Immediately, tomorrow, today, as soon as possible." "Divorce? From Vanessa?" "Yes," Michael said. "And I need a restraining order. I want her 500 feet away from me and my daughters at all times." "What happened?" James asked. He sounded more awake now. Michael told him everything. About the diner, about the abandonment, about Grace, about the police. When Michael finished, James was quiet for a moment. "I will have the paperwork ready by noon," James said. "Michael, I am so sorry. I never liked Vanessa. I should have said something." "It is not your fault," Michael said. "It is mine. I will be at your office at noon." Michael hung up. He sat at his desk and stared at the wall. On the desk was a photo of Sarah, his first wife, the mother of his daughters. She was smiling in the photo. She had brown hair and green eyes. The girls looked just like her. "I am sorry, Sarah," Michael whispered to the photo. "I should have protected them better. I should have waited longer before getting married again. I was just so lonely. But that is not an excuse. I will do better. I promise." Michael put his head down on the desk. He closed his eyes, but he did not sleep. At 8 a.m, Emma woke up. She opened her eyes and looked at her ceiling. For a moment, she forgot what happened yesterday. Then she remembered. The diner. Vanessa leaving. Grace staying. Her father arriving. Emma sat up in bed. She was still wearing her clothes from yesterday. She got out of bed and walked down the hall. She looked in Lily's room. Lily was still asleep. She looked in Sophie's room. Sophie was still asleep. Emma went downstairs. She found her father in the kitchen. He was making coffee. He looked terrible. His eyes were red. His face was pale. He was still wearing his suit from yesterday. "Daddy?" Emma said. Michael turned around. When he saw Emma, his face changed. He smiled, but it was a sad smile. "Good morning, sweetheart," he said. "Did you sleep?" Emma asked. "No," Michael said honestly. "I could not sleep." Emma walked over to her father. She hugged him. Michael hugged her back tightly. "Is Vanessa coming back?" Emma asked. "No," Michael said. "She is never coming back." "Are you sure?" "I am sure," Michael said. "I am filing for divorce today, and I am getting a restraining order. That means she is not allowed to come near us. If she does, the police will arrest her." "Good," Emma said. "I do not ever want to see her again." "You will not," Michael said. "I promise." They sat down at the kitchen table. Michael poured Emma a glass of orange juice. Emma drank it slowly. "Daddy?" Emma said. "Yes? Is it our fault that Vanessa left us?" Michael felt like someone had punched him in the chest. "No," he said. He grabbed Emma's hands. "Emma, look at me. This is not your fault. None of this is your fault. Vanessa is the one who did something wrong. Not you, not Lily, not Sophie. You three are perfect. Vanessa is the one who has problems. She is the one who made bad choices. Do you understand? Emma had tears in her eyes. I thought maybe we were too annoying. That is what she always said. She said we were too loud. She said we asked too many questions. She said we were ruining her life. That is not true, Michael said. Vanessa was lying. She was a cruel person, and I am so sorry I brought her into our lives. I made a terrible mistake. I should have listened to you when you tried to tell me she was mean. I tried to tell you, Emma said. But you said I needed to give her a chance. I know, Michael said. And I was wrong. I should have listened to you. You were right about her. I am so sorry, Emma. I am so sorry. Emma started crying. Michael pulled her into his lap and held her. He rocked her back and forth like he did when she was little. Lily and Sophie came downstairs. They both looked sleepy. When they saw Emma crying, they ran over. What is wrong? Sophie asked. Nothing is wrong, Michael said. Everything is going to be okay now. The four of them sat together at the kitchen table. Michael made them pancakes. The girls ate quietly. They did not talk much. They were all thinking about yesterday. After breakfast, Michael's phone rang. It was Officer Rodriguez. Michael answered. Mr. Carter, this is Officer Rodriguez. I have news about Vanessa. What news? Michael asked. We tracked her phone to Shreveport, Louisiana. Local police went to that location. They found her at a casino. She was gambling. She has spent $3,000 on your credit card. Michael felt rage burning in his chest. She was at a casino? While my daughters were abandoned at a diner, she was gambling? Yes, Officer Rodriguez said. The police arrested her. She is being charged with child abandonment and child endangerment. She is in jail right now. Good, Michael said. I hope she stays there. She will have a hearing in a few days, Officer Rodriguez said. You may need to testify. I will be there, Michael said. Whatever you need. After Michael hung up, Emma asked, Was that about Vanessa? Yes, Michael said. The police found her. She is in jail. What will happen to her? Lily asked. She will go to court, Michael said. A judge will decide her punishment. Will she go to prison? Sophie asked. Maybe, Michael said. I do not know. But she will not be allowed near us. That is what matters. The girls were quiet. Then Emma said, Daddy, can we call Grace? Can? Michael was surprised. Grace? The woman from the diner? Yes, Emma said. I want to talk to her. I want to make sure she is okay. She is okay, Michael said. I followed her home last night to make sure she got there safe. Can we still call her? Emma asked. Please? Michael looked at his daughter. He saw how much Grace meant to her already. Yes, Michael said. We can call her. Michael pulled out his phone. He found Grace's number. He dialed it. The phone rang 3 times. Then Grace answered. Hello? Grace's voice was cautious. Grace, this is Michael Carter from last night. Oh, hello, Grace said. Is everything okay? Are the girls all right? They are fine, Michael said. But they want to talk to you. Is that okay? Of course, Grace said. Michael handed the phone to Emma. Emma put it on speaker so her sisters could hear. Grace? Emma said. Hi, Emma, Grace said. Her voice was warm. Hi, Grace, Sophie yelled. Hi, Sophie, Grace said. We miss you, Lily said quietly. I miss you too, Grace said. Grace, can you come to our house for dinner? Emma asked. Please. There was a pause. Then Grace said, Yes, I would like that. Tonight? Sophie asked. Grace laughed softly. If your father says it is okay. Emma looked at Michael. Michael took the phone off speaker and held it to his ear. Tonight would be perfect, Michael said. If you are free. I am free, Grace said. I will text you our address, Michael said. Is 6 o'clock okay? Yes, Grace said. I will be there. Thank you, Grace, Michael said. For everything. I will see you tonight. Michael hung up. The girls were smiling. It was the first time they had smiled since yesterday. "She is coming," Sophie said. "I'm going to draw her a picture," Emma said. "I'm going to show her my science books," Lily said. Michael watched his daughters run upstairs excited. For the first time in 24 hours, he felt a small bit of hope. Then his phone buzzed. A text message from an unknown number. Michael opened it. "I am sorry. Please let me explain. I made a mistake. Please call me. Vanessa." Michael stared at the message. His hands started shaking. He deleted it without responding. Then he blocked the number. Vanessa would never contact him or his daughters again. He would make sure of it. Michael put his phone in his pocket. He would not